Good morning, students. Today we are going to read Chapter 3 of History, the Delhi Sultanate. First, the introduction. The victory of Muhammad Ghori in the Second Battle of Tarain cleared the way for the establishment of Turkish rule in India. He wanted to establish his empire in India. Qutbuddin Aibak, a general of Ghori, founded the Delhi Sultanate. The early Turkish sultans of Delhi are generally called Mamluks or the slaves. The Mamluks were followed by the Khaljis, Tughlaqs, Saids, and Lodhis. Lodhis were defeated by Babur, which led to the end of Delhi Sultanate. Dynasties of Delhi Sultanate. First dynasty was the Mamluk dynasty, then Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Said dynasty, and Lodhi dynasty. Sources for the study of Sultanate period. Chronicles, archaeological and architectural sources like monuments, inscriptions, and coins. The expansion of the Delhi Sultanate. The early Sultan Qutbuddin Aibak. Qutbuddin Aibak was a great warrior and ruler. Qutbuddin remained busy throughout 13 years of his rule for suppressing the revolt. He started the construction of Quwwat ul Islam Mosque and Qutub Minar. He died in 1210 AD. Iltutmish, another slave ruler, after the death of Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish became the king. He looked after the law and order. He appointed a group of 40 nobles or Chahelgani for his own support against the enemies. He completed the construction of Qutub Minar and extended the screen walls of Quwwatul Islam Mosque. He was the able ruler of slave dynasty. Razia Sultan. Iltutmish nominated his daughter Razia as his successor, but nobles and her brothers had strong objection to this because they do not want to be led by a woman. She behaved like a male sultan both in the battlefield and in the court. She also dressed like a male sultan. In a conspiracy, she was defeated and killed in the battle by Turkish emirs or nobles. Ghiyasuddin Balban. He was the real architect of the Sultanate. He crushed many revolts and ruled with an iron hand. He followed the policy of blood and iron. He destroyed the group of 40 or Chahelgani, which was earlier made for the help of the king. Now the nobles had to kneel and touch the ground with their forehead in salutation known as Sijda. This is the way of doing Sijda towards the king. This was the respect given by the nobles towards the king. Next is Khalji dynasty. Khalji dynasty was founded by Jalaluddin Khalji. He followed mild and generous policies. This generous policy of Sultan affected his foreign policy. In 1290 AD, he invaded the fort of Ranthambore. In 1294, Alauddin, the nephew of Jalaluddin Khalji, invaded Ramchandra, the ruler of Devgiri in the south. Alauddin Khalji was the nephew and son-in-law of Jalaluddin Khilji. Alauddin Khilji killed Jalaluddin and succeeded the throne in 1296 AD. He was the first Turkish Sultan of Delhi who separated religion from politics. The most important experiment undertaken by Alauddin was the attempt to control the markets. You might have seen that movie Padmavat also. In that also, Alauddin Khalji's role was shown. Khusro Khan was killed by Ghazni Khan. He was the last ruler of Khalji dynasty, and his death marked the end of the Khalji dynasty and the rise of Tughlaq dynasty at the throne of Delhi. Administration under the Khaljis. Alauddin Khalji made many administrative changes. Under him, separate markets and the prices of all commodities were fixed. The peasants were ordered to sell the products to the state government at fixed rates so that it should be distributed to the people at nominal prices. Shopkeepers buy the required amount of product from the government and sell in open market at fixed rate. This is done so that shopkeepers should not cheat with the people. Weighs and measures were checked regularly, and if the shopkeepers were found guilty, they were punished very severely. Strict vigilance was maintained in the market so that the customers may not be cheated. In Delhi and the neighboring areas, this policy of price control was successful and was maintained throughout the period of Alauddin's reign. Revenue system and land control. Alauddin Khilji ordered the confiscation of all those lands which were granted to the people by the previous rulers as gift, charity, and pension. So all those type of lands were taken away from the people. Alauddin targeted the privileges of hereditary revenue officers, generally Hindu, namely the Khuds, Chaudharis, and the Muqaddams. Alauddin Khilji raised the revenue demand to 1/2 of the total produce. Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Khusro Khan, the last king of Khilji dynasty, was killed by Ghazni Malik, and Ghazni Malik ascended the throne, assuming the title of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. He died in an accident, and his son Ulugh Khan succeeded him under the title of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Prince Juna, son of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, ascended the throne in 1325 AD and taken the name of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He tried to introduce many administrative reforms but failed. He died while campaigning in Sindh against Taghi, a Turkish slave. Innovative ideas of Muhammad Tughlaq which led him to the ruins. First idea of Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the transfer of capital. He transferred his capital to Daulatabad, later named as Devgiri, near Aurangabad, 1500 kilometers away from Delhi, to have a better control over the southern areas also. Due to some reasons, he again shifted his capital back to Delhi. This made people suffer a lot and caused loss of lives and resources. Second experiment was the issue of token currency. He tried to introduce bronze coins due to the shortage of silver. But due to severe problems of fake coins, as he did not put a seal of the government on the coins, he withdrew the bronze coins as people started manufacturing coins at their homes because of the absence of government seal. This severely affected the trade and business and led to economic loss also. Taxation in Doab. He asked people of Doab. Doab was the area between the two rivers, which is Ganga and Yamuna. That area is known as Doab. He asked the people to pay heavy taxes in order to raise a bigger army because that area was very fertile area. But unfortunately, at the same time, a famine occurred in this region, and the cultivators or the peasants were not in a position to pay taxes. But Sultan's officers still insisted them to pay taxes. Sultan decided to give them loans, seeds, and dig wells. People used the loans to meet their needs. As a result, the whole scheme failed, resulting in heavy losses for the Sultan. Next Tughlaq king was Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He was a cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He established Diwan-e-Khairat, a department for poor and needy people, and Diwan Bundagan, department of slaves, making Iqtidari system hereditary. The Tughlaq dynasty would not survive much after Firoz Shah's death. The Malwa, Gujarat, and Sharqi kingdoms broke away from the Sultanate. Public works of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Construction of canals for the irrigation of cultural lands. Then he founded and developed various cities like Hisar, Firozpur, Firozabad, and Fatehabad. He established Diwan-e-Khairat to help the poor and the needy and the widows. He constructed various madrasas, colleges, hospitals, sarais, karmasarais, and public wells, etc. The Sultanate in the 15th and 16th centuries. Firoz Shah's death followed a civil war. After his death, Taimur, Saids, and Lodhi rulers ruled over Delhi Sultanate. In 1526 AD, Babur successfully defeated last Lodhi ruler Ibrahim Lodhi in the first battle of Panipat. This was the end of Sultanate, which gave way to the Mughal power in India. Thank you and have a nice day.